So don't let them steal your life.
Hey guys, sorry I haven't made any videos in a while, but I've been sick for the last 2 weeks. I thought I'd talk a little bit today about some stuff I've been noticing on the internet. I think a lot of people know that we've grown up in this environment now where all these kids are getting the trophies for just showing up, and they're being told they're great at everything, and they're not really being led to think that they should be better at something than they need to be, because they'll be given a trophy no matter what. A lot of kids don't want to work for things anymore. They also, every little thing bothers them, of course, and that's what we're talking about today. Because of this situation that we've brought about, what we have now is we actually have kids that are getting on the internet and people are telling them bad things or whatever, and they're deciding that that's just too much for them, and oh, it's too hard, and oh, they gotta pay attention to the haters, and I have some really nice transgender friends that I watch, and they tend to talk about people telling them things about their hair and about their clothes and about their makeup, and they don't seem to understand that people are watching you, and you need to weed all that stuff out. And a lot of those people continue to have those people on their channel. They don't delete them. They don't block them, because they're kind of narcissistic and they want to have a big channel, and they know that maybe, if they have 100,000 people, maybe 10,000 of those people are actually haters and just want to watch all their videos so they can leave hateful comments and downvote their videos. So they don't want to lose those subscribers, even though really they aren't subscribers. They don't even watch their videos. They just, every time they make a video, they make something hateful on it, and they tend to leave like the thumbs down, So I don't understand why you guys find it, feel there's a reason why you need to pay attention to these people. I don't understand why if somebody tells you in a hateful comment that your eyebrows don't look good, or your eye makeup doesn't look good, or you have sideburns, or your hair isn't good, or your videos aren't as good as they used to be, or you don't look like you used to dress, or I don't like those shoes, or just any number of things like that. Why do you pay attention to that? Why does that bother you? Why are you caring? This channel is your channel. This is your channel. You make the decisions on what is put on the channel. Now, if you have good suggestions from people that they tell you, you should do this or you should do that, you can take their advice, or you can say thanks for the advice, but no thanks. It's your channel. You're not dictated. I think a lot of people that get big channels start to be dictated that they have to do what they're told, and it becomes not your channel anymore, and you tend to do things for the people, and I think that's a bad thing. The people started watching because of you, and they didn't watch because you did things that they wanted to do. They watched because they liked what you did. So you need to continue to do that if you want to continue to grow your channel, because that's what worked for you. Of course everybody's going to like if you pay attention to them, and you feed the haters, and you do what people tell you to do, and then you become a puppet, And I'm not interested in being a puppet, and I think a lot of YouTubers end up being puppets for their subs, and I think that's a bad thing. I think that's something you shouldn't do. So I just thought I'd bring that up. I don't understand why you guys pay attention to these haters, and why you guys worry so much about the hater comments. I get a lot of hater comments. I have 5 channels, and when I get a hater comment, if it's hateful enough, I just delete them. And if it's not too hateful and it's just kind of dumb, I just leave it. If it's, hateful and stupid and they're being annoying to other people, then I'll delete their comments. Just completely. I'll mute them and delete their comments off my page, And, a lot of people have this idea, they're like, I've never blocked anybody and I'll never block anybody and that sucks and blah, blah, blah. It's bullshit. The internet is a big place. And if you want to bother people and you want to be a troll and you want to run around people's pages and acting like an asshole and giving people stupid comments, well, then you can go do it someplace else. And you're not going to do it on my channel. And if you're one of those people that want to continue to allow those people to be there, and then you constantly are trying to appease them by doing something that they tell you that you should do, then it's your own fault. And you're causing the problem. Now, the other thing I'm wanting to talk about is something I've talked about before. I'm not understanding the red tape that psychologists make transgenders go through in every country. And I believe in the psychological industry that this is one of the biggest reasons why you'll see we have a huge problem with suicide and cutting and eating disorders. And there's a lot of people that dismiss it, even transgender people. I know a couple of transgender people that did a video that really pissed me off because they completely dismiss the fact that a lot of the transgender children know that they're trans children when they're very young. And they're in 6-7 years old, and they figure out really quickly, just like everyone else does, who they're attracted to. And I don't think it's hard to say that with some psychological tests and things like that yes, it's easy to figure that out. But my concern is with the amount of red tape that you have to go through to get HRT medication. And when you have to do that, a lot of these people, first of all, when you're trans, you feel kind of an outcast and you don't want people to look at you, and you're afraid to go outside dressed as who you are, and you're afraid for anybody. You're very, very unstable, and you don't want anybody to say anything bad. You're just trying to be who you want to be. You're learning who you're wanting to be. You're learning how to do your makeup. You're learning how to dress. You're learning what your style is, things like that. And you don't want to go outside and have somebody tell you you look like a freak or something, because that's horrible when you're just trying to figure yourself out. So a lot of people have that problem. And these psychologists want them to dance through hoops and things. And these people don't want to really go out and have to tell all this stuff to someone else. And you shouldn't have to, especially if you're grown up. Like, I'm 43. I shouldn't have to go to a psychologist, me being a psychologist. I shouldn't have to go to a psychologist to appease some governmental standard to prove that I am able to do something to my body when I'm a grown human being. There's no reason for it. And the reason why I believe there's a lot of suicide and there's a lot of cutting and there's a lot of eating disorders is because people they don't have the money and they don't have the backing, and they feel like their family won't like what they're doing, and they really have nobody to turn to. And the internet is where a lot of these people end up going to try to find out stuff. And I find it a shame that the industry, with this 41% attempted suicide rate, isn't screaming for some change. That they don't see. They want to act like it's not their fault. It's not their problem. The reason why it's happening isn't their problem. It's somebody else's fault. It's always somebody else's fault. It's not the red tape. It's not the bureaucratic bullshit. It's not any of that. It's your fault. You're transgender and you're just a suicidal person, and even though I've seen in many cases when transgenders get their medication, you can see this in a lot of videos on the internet where they talk about children that had horrible. They were horrible in school. They never paid attention. They threw fits. They wouldn't talk. They wouldn't eat. They'd throw their food across the floor. They were just horrible children. And as soon as they got their transgender medication and they started to allow them to dress in the opposite gender, they completely changed into a completely different child. And their entire psyche just changed overnight, immediately. And this is a common thing that we see. And to actually act like that's not a thing, that that's not going to help, that giving children the ability to not have to go through puberty as a man or a woman, as a man, that means you're not going to get an Adam's apple. That means your voice won't change. That means you won't get chest hair, facial hair. A lot of your hair won't grow in darker. You know, a lot of things like, you know, your testosterone won't increase. Your balls won't get bigger. Your balls won't drop. Things like that. All these things are positive things that actually not only help with the psyche of a transgender woman, male to female, but it also helps with the money, because these are things that in many cases, a lot of the things that happen can never be fixed. I mean, you can get facial feminization surgeries which cost thousands upon thousands of dollars, but after you go through puberty as a boy and then want to be transgender girl, a lot of things you'll never be able to fix. And that's a big problem. And to act like it's not and just say, well, we should just let them go, you know, don't let them do anything until they get to be like 21 or something like that. That's the reason why we have this problem with suicide. And to act like that's not a reason or that's not a problem is I think part of the problem, you know. I don't know any other way to put it than that. But I just thought I'd come on and talk a little bit about that. If you guys got anything you want to discuss in the section below, you can leave that in the section below. Thanks for watching. Like I say, if you want to share, like, and subscribe, and leave comments in the section below. Any things you want me to do videos on, if you want me to talk more about something, or if you got something you want to tell me, whatever, I can talk to you about more things. And yeah, have a nice day.
So don't let them steal your life.